One of Auschwitz's most brutal guards tortured women and sent them to the gas chamber. Irma Grese chose the most beautiful ones, those who could compete with her. This woman became a nightmare for the prisoners who survived the war. Irma Grese's troubled childhood. Let's turn to the biography of Irma Grese. Perhaps there it will be possible to find the roots of her cruelty and bitterness. She was one of 5 children in the family of Bertha and Alfred Grese. The family was dysfunctional. When Irma was 13, her mother committed suicide by drinking hydrochloric acid. She found out that her husband was cheating on her. 2 years later, the future warden dropped out of school, imbued with Nazi ideology, and became a fierce activist Hitler Youth, the angel of death in the SS. For some time, young Irma Grese was looking for her vocation. She briefly worked as a nurse's aide in the SS Sanatorium Hohenlichen, but this place was for the active Irma to boring. So at the age of 18, Grese joined the SS Women's Auxiliary Unit and moved to a women's training base near Ravensbrück, a women's concentration camp. After training, Grese remained a volunteer at the camp and was very soon given the post of warden, and a little later, she was transferred to Auschwitz-Birkenau. At Auschwitz, Irma Grese became an overseer. Irma Grese's reputation as a sadist and nymphomaniac was firmly established at Auschwitz because of her passion for torture. She tortured prisoners, kicking them with her pointy-toed boots, poisoning women with hungry dogs, and forcing them to hold heavy stones over their heads until their arms were pierced with pain. Instead of a uniform, the Angel of Death Grese wore a tight blue jacket, and even her whip was pearl-encrusted. Her refined appearance was also a kind of torture for the filthy, rags-clad prisoners of the concentration camp. The prisoner Olga Lengel, whose children died in the gas chambers, wrote in her memoirs 5 Chimneys that it was Irma Grese who not only tortured, but also selected women for the gas chambers. They never said so. They preferred the euphemism special treatment and for Dr. Mengel's medical experiments. Her choice was not the weak and useless prisoners, but the most beautiful ones, those who could match the attractiveness of Grese herself. Lengel mentioned that Irma had lovers among the SS, including Nazi criminal Joseph Mengele. Most surprisingly, there were girls who, for some mysterious reason, Irma sympathized with. They were members of the camp orchestra, who, among other things, entertained the SS men with their music. There was something macabre, something black irony in the very existence of such an orchestra. One of its members, Yvette Lennon, recalls how her sister fell ill, and she had to personally appeal for help to the Angel of Death, Irma. And suddenly, the warden expressed sympathy. She found Yvette a place in the kitchen and gave her sister extra rations to get her back on her feet. Execution. In 1945, Irma asked to be transferred to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, where she was captured by the British a month later. At the Belsen trial, Irma, along with other camp workers, was sentenced to hang. The Angel of Death, Irma Grese, found her doom at the age of 22. The former warden did not doubt for a second that she was right, that she had made the right choice. The night before the execution, she sang Nazi songs loudly and walked to the gallows without flinching. When the rope was thrown around her neck, she sharply commanded, "Schnell!"